Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie. It's morning. Well, I had to be energetic because it's gloomy out there.
It is, yeah.
Wednesday, September the 5th, it's Mornings with Luann and Tim. Good morning, Luann.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. It's getting darker and darker every time we wake up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. I don't want to deal with it,
but it doesn't feel like fall. It's so...
Oh my gosh, it's so warm. Like, honestly, we still have no air conditioning in the building, but the newsroom, like from this studio, which is the only room in the whole building that's air conditioned, thankfully.
That's why you might have missed our other studio. We haven't been using it for the last month. Anyway.
Walk into the newsroom, it's just like, poof. Yeah. It's
that's where we leave our guests. We leave them in there to sweat it out.
Make them even more nervous.
That's right.
Yeah, come on over. We'll torture you. It'll be lovely. So much going on. Did you see the nomination interview process?
For Judge Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Yes, for the Supreme Court position?
Yeah.
I watched. So they were delayed by 77 minutes because of protests, first of all. People the Democrats kept trying to say, this is not right, we want an adjournment.
They want more time.
42,000?
Yes.
4,000 pages? 4,200 pages of documents arrived the morning of the hearing.
Seriously.
Or just the night before.
The night before, nobody had a chance to even look at them, obviously.
Right.
So it's like, what?
And that's still about 10% of the paperwork that they've requested to look at. So, and what they're saying is, would you hire somebody if you saw 1/10 of their resume? Now, I think they're being a little dramatic in that regard, because when somebody gives you their resume, I don't get to see every publication you've ever written or every broadcast you've ever done.
But this is going to be a Supreme Court judge.
Truly, you want to see how how his rulings were,
and
where he stood and what his reasoning was.
With Roe v. Wade in the crosshairs, especially
abortion,
women's issues, that sort of thing.
LGBTQ, where was he on gay marriage?
Yeah, we need to know that kind of stuff.
And
tons of protesters in the galley too.
How'd they all get in there?
I don't know.
Anybody can go?
But it's
They were hauling them out.
Yeah, like 1, 2, 3. The kids, his children had to be taken out of the proceedings.
Then the father of the victim from there he is right there. That's the father of the young girl who was murdered.
This is Fred Gutenberg. His daughter was killed in Parkland.
What's his daughter's name? Jamie?
I don't recall.
I think it's Jamie Gutenberg.
His daughter was killed in the Parkland shooting. So he reached out to the nominee, Brett Kavanaugh.
At a break, he got up and he walked across the room, extended his hand, and Kavanaugh was buttoning up his suit coat.
Standing up and buttoning up his suit coat. And you have to find this footage on Twitter if you can, or somewhere.
The White House is saying that security interrupted the handshake and they whisked him away. Not true. Not true.
You watch his face. The second he's standing up and he's doing up his coat, and he saw the man, he went,
"Who's this?" And then the guy says his name, and you could see his face change, like, uh-oh. And then security stepped in. But no, he had no intention of shaking that man's hand.
That was nasty.
Speaks volumes about how he thinks about the NRA would crap in their pants if they saw a Supreme Court nominee shaking hands with a man whose daughter was murdered by a
Could you imagine?
A shooter.
Could you imagine that?
The NRA would freak out. That's
money?
Exactly why he's like, get me out of here. I need their money.
Yeah. You know what? It was just such an affront. And like Tim was saying, the White House is saying, his security unit surrounded him and took him out. No, they didn't.
No.
They did not. And the man, the father of the dead child, was standing there. No one approached him.
And as he was saying, as he walked away, you can read his lips saying, my daughter was killed at, what was it called?
Parkland.
Parkland. My daughter was killed at Parkland. I come on to say Sandy Hook. Isn't it tragic that I can't remember which school shootings we're talking about? Because there have been so many.
You know what? Boy, I'll tell you something. I hope these proceedings take a long, long, long time. Find out everything that they can about this judge.
I don't know. They have the majority still.
I know,
the
right?
Republicans have the majority.
I got this just in bulletin from our meteorologist.
I saw the little guy come in here and slide something onto
the... Yeah, and he wasn't on his knees. You thought he was, but that was him standing up. Yeah.
That's our little weather dwarf.
Yeah.
You can't say that's not... You can't say that.
You can't say that.
No, our weather little person.
Our weather little person.
Although he is kind of... Cartoons are dwarfs, and Craig kind of is a cartoon in real life.
He's a cartoon, and you know what?
Sorry, no offense anybody.
He's a drawer.
I know that you're not supposed to say dwarf.
And he's an artist, and he has done comic strips.
Who, Craig?
Craig, yeah. He has a twin brother who's identical.
Gary.
Yeah, and he actually did caricatures of him and Gary
When they
for a comic strip, and they were published in the Sault Star.
Well,
at
there
one
you go.
point.
There's
Yeah.
some Sault Ste. Marie trivia.
Yeah. Anyway, him,
And it's nice to know that he's actually got some talent.
for a change.
He just laughed in the control room.
He says, our weather person says, heavy rain warning has been issued for Sault Ste. Marie and St. Joe's Island.
Oh, my grass seed.
It's gonna flow into the gutter. The gutter's gonna be nice and green.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Heavy rain for Sault Ste. Marie and St. Joe's Island.
Joe's Island.
Well, then get out your galoshes and your umbrellas, everybody, because it's that time of the year.
It is. Do you have anything Nike?
I do so, and I'm not burning any of it.
Good.
Because I don't
People
believe
are
that
burning
Colin
their shoes.
Kaepernick is, I don't believe he's protesting the flag or the anthem. He's protesting police brutality against, or injustice against black people in America.
But wow, what a chance Nike took, right?
Brave, smart.
Holy moly.
You know why? Because I think personally, I think this campaign is going to show exactly how America really feels. I think we're going to see a surge in purchases of Nike because of this.
I'm hoping that's the case.
I think
but
the
you know
majority
what?
of Americans
Everybody comes out of the
why
woodwork,
they're kneeling
though.
for the anthem. The people who don't understand why they're kneeling are the people with their head in the sand pretending that there are no issues with race relations in the U.S.
You know what? Having said that, though,
Yes.
because of the argument that people who are against taking a knee, against that argument, what would you suggest they do otherwise to draw that much attention to their issue?
Okay, well,
Do you know what I mean?
yes, I guess they could pay for advertisements and take out ads or do something. But see, the thing is, when you're going to protest, what's the idea behind protesting? Getting the most possible exposure and making the most impact
Right.
you can. And that's why they thought, well, the way we're going to make the most impact is to piss people off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And show the division in our country. I mean, they're highlighting it.
Yeah.
They are highlighting the race relations in the country by doing this, because it's the people who don't get it are the ones saying, how dare you? How dare I?
Yes, exactly.
Take a look at that. Did you see the picture of the three guys who were, I don't even think they were convicted. They were three guys who killed people, and then the three black guys that got beat up by them, and the convictions didn't stick. And it's like, okay, to tell us that there's no race relations.
Right, yeah.
Who are the guilty people here?
Yeah,
Right? Who are we concerned
absolutely.
about? Anyway.
But Nike, apparently a spokesperson for Nike yesterday was talking about it and said, in a very subtle, business-like way, that any discussion either side is good discussion.
It's good discussion.
It's good to discuss it. Plus, it's not going to hurt their
Their bottom line.
marketing strategy, perhaps, is a way to put it. Because even if you're talking bad about Kaepernick, you're still talking Nike, right?
And now there is, if you happen to see a protest against Nike, where a gentleman supposedly lit his shoes on fire on his feet and then ended up in the hospital, it's all a hoax.
I was mortified, though. You show me the pictures. The guy's feet are like he set fire to his shoes, still wearing them.
But it was a hoax, because
was-
the picture of the burnt feet came from somewhere else. It was just uploaded into this thing, so it's not true. He wasn't that
Stupid.
foolish to light the shoes while on his feet. But people really are burning their products.
They're burning
I saw
their
one of
products.
somebody said, now I finally found a reason to cut the Nike swatches off of my pillowcases. And then you see them cutting the little Nike off their pillowcases, little things like that. big.
Really?
Yeah. And then in the next shot, though, they put the pillowcase on their head and and their KKK.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it was like a saying, aha, this is what Nike, people who are burning Nike, people who are trying to get rid of their Nike stuff, basically are white supremacists.
How effective is that?
Yeah. They're
Ooh,
saying
I
that-
just got goosebumps
yeah,
on
they're
that
saying
one.
if you're boycotting Nike, then you're a white supremacist. You have those tendencies.
It's like over here and over here. And speaking of over here, what's coming up?
Over here, Edie Soriano's coming up from the Bushplane Museum, the Canadian Bushplane Heritage Centre, the one and only. In Canada, we are unique.
Yes, we are.
And their Bushplane Days are coming up, so Edie's going to come on and talk about Bushplane Days.
Awesome.
And then I have Judith Onley. Judith is let's say, I'm gonna let Judith explain who she is.
Okay.
Well, because I knew her before, and now she's come back to Sault Ste. Marie, and she's had a journey and a half. She is now a spiritualist. She's a Reiki. She performs Reiki.
Awesome.
And she's spearheading a retreat for women through Jade Wellness, and it's all about connecting with yourself and your inner strength
To
and
tell the truth.
body
Who is
and
she
soul.
really?
I know, right? It's
We'll
very
find
interesting.
out.
She's been reborn, basically.
Awesome.
She channels.
Oh, really? I love that.
So that's coming up on Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim, plus the news.
Plus the news.
So don't go anywhere, right?
Right, because we'll be back with more Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim on TV. Right after this.
Well, here's some sunshine in pink. Hi, Edie
Why,
Soriano.
hello, Tim.
You look just lovely. Thanks for bringing this lovely weather
Oh,
into
yeah.
our, at least inside the building.
Yeah,
it's
not
nice.
so nice outside.
No, did you? We just announced a big rain
Yeah.
warning. Ooh, stay dry.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. Great to see you. Thanks for having me today.
It's a pleasure.
Awesome.
Now, this is my first time having you on the show. Have you been on ONNtv yet?
No.
Oh, Edie, welcome.
Yeah.
How long now? I've known you forever. How long
Yes.
have you been with the Bushplane Museum?
I
Canadian
Yeah,
Bushplane Heritage Center.
Center, which is the Bushplane
Museum,
Museum.
yeah.
Will always be the Bushplane Museum.
Right
but,
on.
I've been with the company now for 8 years. So it's,
8 years?
Yeah, I don't know where the time has gone, but
Wow.
it's been pretty awesome.
Marketing and promotions is your specialty.
That's what it is.
And
yeah.
if anybody hasn't been to the Bushplane Museum yet, what's wrong with you? Edie's been waiting for you for 8 years.
Yeah.
But you say you hear that still sometimes.
Yes,
People walk
yeah.
in, local people walk in and say,
Especially the first thing they say, oh, I've never been in here. So that's why we do so many events to get the local people in to see what we have. So then when they have visitors from out of town, hopefully they'll think, oh, we need to bring them to the Bushplane Museum.
because I think there's a lot of things in there that people aren't even aware of. You've had so many, since you first opened. How long has it been since it opened?
We're
Is that a good one?
29 years right now, but next year's our big 30th, so lots of
can't
things
believe it's been
planned
that
for next year.
long.
Yeah, far out, eh?
30 years, far
30
out.
years,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. I love that you said far out. You make me feel young.
Yeah. I think I just aged myself.
No, you know why? Because I said it too. That's why we're young together. There's a lot of things in there that are new. The theaters. How many theaters do you have in there
we
now,
have two
Edie?
theaters. We show Wildfires, our firefighting adventure in 3D, which
It's a
is
3D
everybody's in awe of it. Especially this year, it's been pretty cool because of all the fires burning everywhere.
Oh.
People are now watching that movie and coming out thinking, "Oh my gosh, those poor people, the poor firefighters, what they're going through."
Because you see
Now
from,
you're seeing it because it is so realistic. being
when you're in 3D. So
Oh,
you're like, are you actually like, when you're in 3D, are you like flying over the flames
No,
and
you're
stuff?
in the plane, the 415 water
That's what I mean, though,
bomber.
but are you looking
Yeah.
down at the flame?
You are looking down, and you're seeing,
What the pilot
smelling the
sees.
smoke. You're feeling the rumble of the 415.
Oh, because they've got all that in the
Yeah,
theater.
it's all in the theater, and then when the water bomber puts out, then you're just getting that little
You get a
drizzle
mist.
of dampness.
Come
You're not
on.
getting soaked. Like it is truly a good movie.
What's the
And
other
it's-
theater?
The other is that we're the only place that show it now in our object theater in Swings Over the North. It is really geared to kids.
Okay.
But adults, of course, enjoy it too because the co-pilot is a little dog. So
Oh.
he's helping fly the plane and taking you
Oh.
up into the north. And so
Do you
it is
still have
really
a
cool.
character there in the actual museum that is there, like with the movie? Did you used to do that one time where you watched the movie and there was like a little character?
No, that movie is the little dog, though. He's in the plane, Tim. We do have a character, though, so if you haven't come across our little
Well, I know the beaver. I've seen him everywhere.
His name's Chopper. Chopper the Bushplane
Chopper the
beaver.
Bushplane beaver.
And he's friends with Smokey Bear.
I know. I
He's
see
a
them. I
Smokey-
see them at
yeah,
Canada Day usually,
yeah,
and sometimes
yeah,
at Bratwurst
yeah.
Beer and Beethoven.
So-
They're around.
yeah.
And kids
Kids
summer
sa-
festival. Yeah,
yeah,
kids safety.
so-
You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
Yes, you're
Scary,
busy.
eh? Yes.
Now, oh, there! Look, there is Chopper the
Oh,
beaver
there
right
he
there.
is.
Hi,
See,
Chopper.
yeah, see, he's
By
at
the
one of the
fish-
games for Bushplane Days. He's fishing in the fishing pond.
So, Bushplane Days have been going on for how many years?
23 years. This is the 23rd year for Bushplane Days.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
We
pretty
are
cool.
the only Canadian Bushplane Museum in the country. Is that
Exact-
true?
Bushplane Museum, period. There is
You mean in-
bushplanes in many aviation museums, but we are the actually only bushplane museum.
In like North America? Like
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's us. You want to see
We
all
are
the bush planes?
We're a world famous destination.
Yes, that's right.
See?
See?
And you have other things besides planes in there too. I've seen vehicles in
We
there.
have, Mr. Jack Purvis. He has some of his vintage cars there.
Some of the
model.
automobiles?
Yeah, so and they're very nice. We have a 1953 GMC truck that is ours that we restored.
Yes.
So it's cool. Lots of guys like that truck.
So how has it been this summer? Did you have a great summer or
We've
what?
had a fairly good summer, thanks to the cruise ships coming in.
Oh,
because we've had 2
yes.
cruise ships coming in. The Pearl Mist has been coming in with Pearl Seas, and we've had Victory coming in.
Right.
So a couple times we've had them both in at the same time, so it's been one crazy day.
How
but,
do you arrange that? Do they book with you? Who books with you? Does
the people that are doing the excursions book with us.
Okay.
They either dock at Roberta Bonder, which they book through the city, or they dock over in Sioux, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
But then the people that are actually doing these excursions for the people that want to come to the Bushplane or the Ermitinger House or whatever, they deal directly with us.
So it's like when I get on a cruise ship and I'm offered the different packages, I could
Yeah.
I could choose to go snorkeling or whatever, and they get
Yeah.
this as an option for
This
their.
is an option.
That's fantastic.
But I think the blunt of the people that are on those cruise ships are coming to the Bushplane. And it's interesting, Pearl Seas is in many times for a full day.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people will come. We might get 120, 130 people in the morning. And then the rest of the ship, you think, where's everybody else? And then all of a sudden, those people go back and say, you need to go to the Bushplane.
No
and then they come in the
kidding. So
afternoon.
word of mouth.
Oh, absolutely. Once they see what we have. Because
See
sometimes
that?
it's really hard, you think, oh, it's a Bushplane museum. Do I really want to be at a Bushplane museum?
And there's so much history though, so much
Oh,
local history too.
absolutely.
So we're gonna go to commercial. When
Okay.
we come back, pardon me, we're gonna talk about the upcoming Bushplane Days.
All
Okay,
right.
so more with Edie Suriano about Bushplane Days right after this on Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim. So the 23rd annual Bushplane Days Festival. Coming
Yes,
up when? Edie?
Coming up. It's coming up next weekend, September 15th and 16th.
2 days.
2 days, 9 to 5 both days.
Is that Friday? Is that Saturday?
It's Saturday, Sunday.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Saturday,
right.
Sunday. We have lots of things planned.
Yeah.
Again, people have gotten used to us bringing in our Marvel character, and this year, on Saturday, the kids will be able to meet and greet Iron Man.
Superhero Saturday meets Iron Man.
And then on Sunday, Spider-Man.
There's Iron Man
Spider-Man's-
right there, Edie.
There he is. That's with my friend Doris. She's probably going to
Hi,
shoot me for
Doris.
that picture, but whatever. Look
So,
how cool he is. Eh?
Here's what's really cool about this, Edie, is that these characters, Iron Man and Spider-Man, are actually sent to you by Marvel Comics. This is the
Yeah.
real deal, folks. These
Yeah.
are not just people dressing up in a costume. These are performers who have been trained to perform
Yeah.
as Iron Man and
That's right.
Spider-Man, and they come up, they fly. There's Spider-Man
There he is. Yeah, look at the way this guy sits. Not
Yeah.
everybody can sit like that.
Well, I can't.
I'm pretty
sit like
sure
that.
I can't either.
Well, if I sat like that, Edie, I wouldn't be able to stand
yeah,
up
we'd
again.
be done.
No, we'd have to call my chiropractor to get me out of that
And there he
position.
is sitting on the Norseman. So that plane is 80 years old. So there
Really?
you go. Yeah.
Well,
how cool is that?
Has it had some work done, that plane?
Oh, yeah, do you think? He's looking pretty good.
I could
for
go to
80.
that shop and have some, because my propeller needs some tightening. Okay,
Yeah.
Edie, so we've got, the Iron Man on Saturday and Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
What else can we
Yeah.
look forward to?
We also have Princesses Are Us. That's a local company.
Oh, so you're actually
her
getting-
characters are coming in also. So Saturday.
like the Disney princesses and that kind of thing.
That's right. So
Yeah.
this year we have invited Wonder Woman.
Oh,
So we have another Superwoman
boom! With
hero.
That's with the things and the
Yeah.
and the lasso
There
of
you
truth.
go. Yes.
So her invisible plane.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you have an invisible plane at the Bushplane Museum?
Oh, we
You
have
wouldn't
so
know
many,
because
you
it's
wouldn't believe
invisible.
it.
Okay.
We have a lot of ghosts though.
Do you have
Oh
ghosts?
yeah. We could tell you a few stories
I'm having
about the
some
ghosts
people on
in
the
there.
show from Ghost. It's an organization in the Sioux that does. Have they been there yet?
No, but they need to come
We'll
because I have a
send
whole
them to
bunch
you.
there.
Okay,
Yes.
we're going to send them to you,
Okay,
the paranormal
that's
people. That's exciting. Okay.
Anyway, she's
Well-
also, that afternoon we'll see Sky from Paw Patrol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all pink, and she's a pilot.
A pink pilot.
A pink pilot.
Very
Yes,
thematic,
yeah.
Edie.
Yeah.
Edie.
Yeah.
La, la, la.
On Sunday, they will be bringing in Cinderella for us
Oh,
in
boy.
the morning, and then in the afternoon it'll be Chase from Paw Patrol. All the kids love it.
Kids are going to be so happy to see all
Yeah.
these celebrities.
That's right.
All right.
Plus, don't forget, we got Smokey Bear there with the MNRF, and
Right.
we also have Chopper. He
Chopper
will
the
be
Beaver,
roaming
yeah.
around.
Lot of opportunities for pictures
Oh,
for kids.
absolutely. They're there for you to meet and greet, take pictures, and some kids will run like crazy to get away from them because
And
they're
is the
scared.
fish pond is one of the activities?
We have lots of carnival games.
Do you?
Like the fish pond and ball toss and beanbag toss. That
For prizes?
For prizes,
For
we got
prizes.
lots of cool prizes. And one of the fun things for this, when the kids come in, they get a passport. And they can go to all the different places on the passport, get cool stamps. And then on their way out, they show their passport that they keep because
Yeah.
they got all those stamps.
Oh.
And then they get a nice little gift from us for
They
just
get
for
a
coming.
gift just for
Bush-
coming and doing
for
participating
Bushplane.
in Bushplane Heritage Festival.
Yes. So, and one of the highlights that's always a big highlight is the M&R.
The Ministry of Natural Resources.
Yeah.
Why do
they're
they do a?
big-
Do they do
a big
look at
area. There's the EC-130 helicopter showing the water bombing that they do pinpoint.
They do that. You mean
And there's the big CL-415.
Edie? Do they do that out front of the
right
over
in
the
front
river?
of the Bushplane. Yep.
I've never seen.
Yeah. so
Where
look
have I
at that.
been for the
I
last
don't
23
know.
years?
And you know what? It
They
never
do that
gets,
right in front of the river.
It never gets old.
No.
You hear that 415 coming, the rumble of the plane, and he comes down, picks up the water, circles, and then dumps the water. And we have somebody from Colin Reed from the M&R is actually doing commentary, so you know exactly what the pilot's doing at that exact time.
See now,
It is just awesome.
I got a lot of nerve. I'm sitting here saying,
Yeah,
if
shame on you.
If I say you haven't been to the Heritage Center, where have you been? And now I haven't apparently been to Bushplane. So okay.
Yeah.
Saturday,
and
Sunday.
Sunday we have a cruise ship in, so it's going to be very interesting. So we have already told them, be on deck at noon hour. Because that plane, you're going to have the best shot of that.
Oh my
whole
gosh!
thing
Imagine
going.
being on
Yeah.
your cruise ship and
Yeah.
a plane goes over and dumps. Maybe
Yeah.
you can dump the
Yeah,
water right on
you
the
can
cruise ship.
dump
No. No.
That might be a little.
Yeah, no, too
damping
interactive.
Maybe a little.
Oh.
But, and we have a barbecue, we have food, we have fun. It's an all-day fun 9 to 5.
And so obviously this is really geared toward families.
Oh,
Edie.
it is, absolutely. Get your family
if
and
you,
come on
so
in.
now you go. Now you go. Now you know. I'm having a problem with consonants.
Yeah.
Amy. If you have not yet been to the Bushplane Museum, now you have a perfect reason to go. Bring your kids, go down, see what everybody's talking about, find out why we're so unique. And on the Sunday, wouldn't it be great for the tourists to come off the ship and see all the locals there welcoming them, saying, "Welcome to Sault Ste.
Exactly.
Marie."
Perfect timing, eh?
And see
Yeah.
how much fun show them how we have a party up in the north.
Yeah, and if there's so much more than we've discussed,
Really?
go to our website, go on our Facebook. Everything's listed.
What's your
at the
website,
time.
Edie?
www.bushplane.com.
And your Facebook
We're
page?
Facebook Bushplane Museum.
Are you kidding me that it's only $5 for an adult?
Yeah, we have special pricing in effect, so we want people to be able to afford to come. and enjoy.
$2 for kids 5 to 12. Four and under is completely free, so you can bring your little ones in the strollers, no charge. Edie Soriano, $10 bracelets, unlimited train rides, bouncy castles, treetop adventure course,
Oh, you're good.
paintball and carnival, $1 carnival games with prizes. Edie, congratulations on
Thank you.
another great festival. September 15th and 16th from 9 to 5 at the Canadian Bushplane Heritage Center, otherwise known as the Bushplane
Bushplane
Museum.
Museum.
Our thanks to Edie Soriano. Always a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Tim.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
back with the news with Luann on Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
You're a hoot.
Edie Suriano is
Oh.
such a lovely lady.
The energy from her,
I
right?
know, and we didn't even get to talk about some of the other stuff going on at Bushplane Days. There's live entertainment, there's bands, there's so much more too.
It's such
so.
a family thing, right?
Great, it's great.
awesome.
But there's nothing to do in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Seriously, we have nothing to tell you about.
What
at
did you
all.
find while I was interviewing Edie?
You know what?
You're
This
always
is
digging
so
stuff up.
interesting.
Wow.
Charlie Angus is the NDP MP and represents Timmins James Bay.
There's a picture of him right there.
Right.
I've heard the
Works
name.
very, very, very hard for his riding, very much so. In his riding is Kasheshewan First Nation.
Okay.
He says on Twitter how, it's first day of school for Catholic kids. Yesterday was first day of school for the public school kids. Kids in Kasheshewan don't get to go to school because the portable classrooms that they have there are inhabitable.
Uninhabitable. Mold.
They cannot get into their classes. And he says, if we can't afford schools, we can't afford a pipeline.
Listen,
You know?
he's not kidding.
Well, like he's going up there.
What's wrong with us
Yeah.
as a country that we can't have schools for children, all children?
But why
What's
can't we have
wrong with
running
us?
water on our First Nations? How long? Some people, it's like 17 years. They haven't had running water. Like, seriously. There's got to be something.
Well, there is something. We've got money. We've got money as a country. We're just spending it in the wrong places.
Now, some people would argue we've thrown too much money at the situation.
Are you?
I know, not me.
Okay, let them say that. Let them say that, and then let's go back to the treaties. Let's go
Yes.
back to the treaties and see what we promised.
Exactly.
When
Let's
we
go
came, when
and
we
visit
came to
that,
Turtle Island and took their land.
And
let's see
let's-
what we promised them.
Let's go up to those portable classrooms too in Kasheshewan.
Let's
and
go.
talk
Let's
about
send.
it.
Let's send all your kids to school where there's mold in the walls, and there's. Let's see you.
Isn't that? It's just, you know what? He is such a strong voice for them.
Charlie Angus?
Yeah, whichever party, he is there and he
It's
is
not
in the
about
room.
parties. This is just about
Yeah.
decency.
Yeah, he.
About being
he's-
proud of ourselves as a nation for taking
Well,
care
and you
of
know
each
what?
other. Oh
It's
my
a
God,
legacy.
don't.
Like, it's so not treated like a legacy ever. You know what? It's
Truth and reconciliation
yeah.
can't just be 3 words.
That's right. You have to follow through with that. So there. Now I got them all pumped up.
Now I need to calm down. So
Yeah.
I'm going to bring in Judith Onley.
Perfect timing.
Well, she's a Reiki master and she's a channeler and she's all involved with shifting beliefs and thought processes and aligning herself
Perfect.
spiritually. And I need her, Judith. Please come to me. Judith. I'm channeling Judith to come after the commercial break.
We'll be back right after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Oh, I'm feeling better already, Judith. Thank you for helping me breathe through my angst.
It's all good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Judith Onley, such a pleasure to welcome you to ONNtv.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. It's been such a long time since we connected.
Very long
and-
time. You are originally from this area?
Yes.
Were you born and raised in this
Born
city?
and raised in Sault Ste. Marie.
Me too.
I know.
You schooled here?
Yep.
Where did
Went
you go to high school?
Collegiate.
Collegiate?
Yeah, how about you?
I went to St. Mary's when it was up on the hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then after school, did you start working right away?
I did actually. I had a number of jobs. I started off at the lawyer's office, and then I went to municipal government.
Yes.
Then I went to provincial government with
Wow.
the Ministry of Natural Resources.
I did not know that.
Yep. And then I went to federal government with Fisheries and Oceans.
Holy smokes.
I know. And then I worked for myself. I opened my own dance studio because I needed to be my own boss.
And you did that for how many years then?
Oh, I had my dance studio for over 15 years.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And then you felt it was time to move on. Change of life?
I don't know if I felt, I don't know if it was a real conscious decision. Like, it was kind of life.
Life happened?
Life happened. Through the 90s, I had a lot of loss and death in my family, and lots of tragedies go on, and end of a marriage, and, just a whole bunch of things that happened. And
That was in the 90s?
in the 90s,
Yeah.
yeah. Big stuff, like really big stuff.
Life-changing stuff.
Life-changing, and I was, kind of brought to my knees,
And actually, it was after I closed my studio, I went away on retreat just to
Okay.
kind of get myself back together emotionally.
Wait, you went away on retreat. Had that been something that you had practiced in your life anyway? No, this was just something that
Brand
you
new.
thought,
Yeah,
I
I
need to try.
never, knew about spirituality or Reiki or any energy,
You
any
didn't,
of it.
eh?
No, and I just started through those, some pretty major deaths, the suicide and different things that it's kind of,
You had a lot of stuff. You were
yeah,
carrying a
stuff
lot of
coming
stuff.
up, and I was realizing, there's more to life than what's really going on, than what we can see in this dimension. And I had some very mystical experiences. So when I went away, it was to help me, and then all of a sudden I realized I have a gift.
Now, geographically, your journey has taken you around the world, really. Can you just tell us some of the places that you've traveled
Oh, wow.
and taught?
And taught. Well, it started off in the States, in Connecticut, and then I came back here for a while, and then I went and moved to Toronto for a while and taught at many different places in Toronto. And then in 2006, I really got the guidance to just go, and I had a beautiful apartment right on the lake and the beaches.
Oh.
And I knew I was to go, and I literally hopped in my car. I went
That's
and
some hot property Judith gave up for this journey. So
I did. It was,
Yes.
yeah, and it was just, I went to visit a friend in Florida for a while. I'd been started channeling and just, doing a lot of things in Toronto and realized that I was to do more, and literally drove for 4.5 years and never really knowing where I was going to end up. And just Spirit would say, or I'd get emails saying, well, I think I'm heading to, somewhere.
So, somebody who came from a life of such structure, because working government jobs, very bureaucratic, structure.
Yeah.
Owner-operator of a dance studio, structure.
Schedule,
Exactly.
yeah.
And now suddenly you're saying to the universe, take me where you will.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was very different. I had been teaching workshops called Dance with Spirit, so it kind of moved from the more structured into more freestyle, and knew that I was bringing through divine energy. That's what it's, divine energy, when in the workshops. And then, so when the channeling started, and I knew that I was to share it, and got asked to go different places. So I'd put out an email and say, I have a really, really cute story. I'll try to make it really short.
That's okay.
But I was staying with a friend in Florida, and then I knew that I was to, just start traveling, and I put out emails to have really lots of connections. So, and connect with a person in Dallas and stayed with them for a couple of nights. Then I knew that I was supposed to go to Sedona, but I didn't know anybody in Sedona. And
You mean you channeled, you felt the Sedona was it?
yeah, I'm supposed to go to Sedona. So the person at the Unity Church that I had done some stuff for, she said, well, I have a friend in El Paso. I'm sure they would love to host you. And I said, but I'm supposed to go to Sedona. So anyways, I did end up going to Sedona through El Paso, which is south, and then north. But it was just this wonderful experience and then again, trusting that, okay, it was a little bit of a detour.
Right.
And that's how those 4.5 years went. I
Holy
met
smokes.
amazing people, and that's how I got to Spain and Morocco. And
Spain and Morocco.
people would say, well, I see you in Spain. You're supposed, and I didn't know anybody in Spain. And when I got to
Really?
Spain, there was a woman I met who was opening a retreat center in Morocco. And she goes, come and stay with me for a while. And then another one that said, I've got this place in a retreat center in Glastonbury, England. I was there during the spring equinox, and I up on the tour, and I mean all these sacred places. So it was just, and I can't say it was easy. Sometimes I was going, on so many levels, but it was an experience, and I think it's my next book.
Okay, I was just going to
I
get
got-
to the books actually, because
Oh.
you've authored 2 already.
Yes.
Now one is on the screen behind us, Messages
Yeah.
of Hope from Us, and
Yeah.
Us is.
Us are non-physical. Us are
Sorry.
non-physical spiritual teachers that speak through me. So the U period S period stands for United Souls of Heaven and Earth. And I journaled for 6 years all these beautiful messages. Kind of, I understood what channeling was by then, and but not knowing what I was to do with them, and I didn't tell anybody. And then I got told to start doing it live, and that's when I started doing live events. And the messages in the book are all things that they've given me.
All right, so you have an event coming up in the Sioux, which is one of the reasons why you're here today, to talk about the retreat coming
Yes.
up. We'll get to that right after this break. Stay with us. More from Judith Onley, author, Reiki master, channeler, public speaker,
Yes.
motivational speaker, and spiritualist. Right after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Now, I said a word. I love that I get to learn on this show. I used the word spiritualist, which is not correct. Spiritualist would be somebody who actually like speaks to people who passed on. You are a spiritual mentor.
So, yes.
So describe that to me. Make that clear. You don't speak for other people.
I can. I mean, yeah, but it's the energy that comes through me when I sit with people in a private session or in the group channels is an activation of your divine essence. So we all have the answers within us. Yes, it's nice to get some guidance from above or from wherever, but we actually have it all within us, and that's the journey that we're on now, is to access that. We all have it. Everybody who, no matter what's going on in our world, and we know there's some pretty crazy stuff going on there, everybody's divine. And when we really get that about ourselves, a lot of the stuff would stop.
Mike was just going to bring up the picture of the other book, I think. Yeah. So which one did you write first? Messages of Hope?
I know, this one was actually my first one.
Your Mastery, Live It Now.
Yeah.
This is your first book.
That was the first book, and it was, it's based on the channels I did on the 11th of every month while I was traveling through California.
Okay.
And
What's the significance of the 11th?
It's about our mastery. So do you know much about numerology?
A little bit. I know that you can take the numbers of your days and months and years and all that kind of stuff, and letters in your name.
It all has a meaning, and it all has a purpose for us. So the 11 is about us tapping into our mastery, and the ones are about new beginnings. So when you put two ones together, it's exponentialized. And so those, because they were all channeled on the 11th, when the very last one was on in 2009, when you add it up, is an 11 year. So all this 11 power we were getting, I just finished the last channel, and they said, put it in a book. And then the book was done within 3 weeks. I had it published at U of T, and I taught it at a workshop in 2011.
In 2011, there's the 11.
I know, and so pay attention to when you see 11s. A lot of people see 1111 on the clock or on a license plate or something. Then it's Spirit giving you a message saying, you got it.
So the two books and bestsellers.
Yes, and they were both made international best-selling.
Can we get them in the suit? I mean, I have a copy because Judith brought me one, but
yes, they're available through Kohl's bookstores or Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Judith,
pretty much any outlet you can get them
so
online.
now, but now you don't even.
Or Jade Wellness. They're at Jade Wellness.
Speaking of Jade Wellness, nice segue.
I know, we're good, eh?
This is where the retreat is happening. I'm going to let you describe it because I've read it. I can't do it justice. Please tell us what women can experience when they come to the retreat.
Well, this is on Friday, this coming Friday night, actually, from 6 to 9:30. And we do this once a year, and we do it as a women's only. Though all my other workshops, we really invite all men, teenagers, whoever. But this particular...
Okay, I won't be offended that I can't come to this one. Okay. That's okay, I'll go to another one. So this one is women only.
But this is for women to focus on the transformation for self-love and self-acceptance. Because, we live in a world where image is everything, and it's, women take it really hard about, and
body image and all that, expectations.
And again, if we tap into that deeper place, none of it matters.
Right.
None of it matters. We feel the beauty from the inside. So
we what?
Feel the beauty from the inside.
I'm already starting to feel it.
Because, again, it doesn't matter what the outside looks like. I mean, we all want to look great. I want it to look nice to come on the show and stuff, but it's really about the energy we carry from within. So the whole retreat will be about talking about our beliefs, what has created some of these beliefs. It could be cultural, it could be family, it could be media, it could be all kinds of things, and then to shift them. So
that's the key.
It's one thing to know we have these beliefs and our ego gets in the way, but what do we do with that? So I have a lot of exercises and meditations and things we do to shift the energy, and then the second half is going to be doing some movement to get it integrated into our body.
And this is where, now, this obviously is not just from your training as a dancer, but also this comes into from Reiki and all the other...
It's actually has nothing to do with the dance training. Other than, it's really interesting, there's a cute little anecdote.
Anecdote. It could be, if it makes us feel better, it's an antidote too.
Yeah, is that it's all about joy. The energy that I bring through, whether it's the books, the workshops, the transmissions, the live channels, is about the energy of joy.
And Edie, now I'm calling you Edie. She was before. Hi, Judith.
Hi.
Oh, hi, nice
Tim.
to meet you.
Hey.
This is an entire evening, though. There's food.
Oh, we get dinner, a beautiful plant-based dinner from Cordelia, which is Angela and her sister from Shabby Motley.
So you can't go
cater
wrong
it.
there.
Yep, and then
Beautiful
we
and
have
healthy
door
food.
prizes at the end, so lots of fun things to...
So you first of all you relax and you enjoy and you eat, but then you hear about the shift and you learn about the mental, and then you do the physical, and then you release and
Sit.
go into the world anew.
And you live it.
All right, so how do we get registered with Jade Wellness?
With Jade Wellness. So
And we
Jade-
all know where Jade Wellness
Yeah.
is, folks. It's down on Queen Street, right beside Munoz.
Yes, and you register online.
They have a Facebook page.
They do.
I think they have a website too. I bet they do.
Yes, Jade Wellness, jadewellnessstudio.com.
And if you just Google, and you have a website too,
I do.
judithonley.com.
Yep, it's all me.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, Tim, such a pleasure. Such a pleasure.
And tell Shirling and the gang down
I
at Jade
will.
Wellness I said hello.
Yes.
I'll be back down to belly dance later.
Yeah,
And
and can,
here we have this.
Yes.
I will not forget about this. So the workshop,
It leads
Shift, Renew, Transform.
form. So this leads into the fall workshops, which we'll be doing every second Sunday all through the fall.
Brilliant. All right, we'll be right back to say goodbye with Luann. It's been a lovely morning with you, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Thank you, Tim.
A pleasure. It's been a busy morning here on
has.
TV, Luann.
So much info.
I know. And so now we're back tomorrow. Is this hump day?
This is Hump Day.
Oh, look at that. Get over it, folks.
We're looking forward to seeing you back here tomorrow morning. Mornings on TV with Luann and Tim. Have a great day.